you can kind of see the setup that we're in. And you see inside the setup, we've got a guy we're on an on-gap, off-gap approach today. So what that means is we're working gap to gap, middle of the field. You see the guy who's on deck. He's working a timing piece there. There are two guys in the back. We set up two T's. With those two T's, what we want to do, especially with our on-gap, off-gap approach, we want to start to kind of prepare our engine to hit. Instead of standing around the back of the cage and doing that, what we want to do is those two guys, again, they're on an on-gap approach or on-gap, off-gap approach. So what we want to do is they're marrying the guy on the mound. A lot of what we talk about as far as hitting goes is we want to have rhythm, we want to have timing, we want to have balance. We want to have rhythm to start the swing, to finish the swing. We want to have timing, which is our separation, that deep core that we use. We want to make sure that our hip is rotating underneath our spine. We want to make sure the body's turning this way. So again, we're starting to prepare that in the back on those two T's. They will go through that rotation. So the way that rotation will work, we also have a bunt guy in there as well. But then you can kind of see, that's the setup. You see the guy who's running sack bunts there. Got a guy in there. Again, he's on an on-gap, off-gap approach. Guys in the back, and then the guy on timing. And then you can see the guys in the back right here. So again, when you look at the short game piece, what we're trying to do is we want to make sure that our barrel's at the top of the zone. We want to make sure that our eyes are behind the ball. And we want to make sure that, again, we're bunting with our legs up and down. Once we set that angle, we don't want to move that angle again. The last piece of this, we call it power shag. The reason why is we're going to have guys in the indoor working off marble balls off the machine and those sort of things. But this gives our outfitters an opportunity to have an open field, the power to be able to run forward, backward, side to side. I think it is the most important time for your outfielders during live BP to get the greatest reads that they can get. All right, so it gives them the ability to be able to move around. And you can see the guys in the back; those are our shag guys. Don't want those guys going and getting every ball, but we want them to make sure that they get a rep each time. So you can see kind of the notes. Again, the short game piece is what we're trying to do. Prepping that engine, rhythm, timing, and balance. We want to charge into that heel, so we're coiling in. Want to work that turn. Want to be behind the ball, finish through it. Gap to gap approach, and then the power shag.